Hello and welcome. Today we are going to learn very basic, but it is very useful. And if you talk about the use cases, it is basically used on these two cases mostly. If your file system is corrupted, your system will hung in control D prompt. And the second one is if you are running a use file system, when you reboot your system, it will try to check the inconsistency in your file system, and that can take a lot of time to boot your system. And basically, to avoid that, and if you do not have much time, you can skip that file system inconsistency check while boot. So I'm going to show you the two simple way of skipping the file system while you boot your system or reboot your system. Okay, so for me right now, if I /etc fstab file and grab for fvg. So currently, okay, let me edit this file first. And I will say when my system reboots, check for this file system inconsistency. Okay, so how to enable this? We can use 1, 2 here, right? And I save the file. But if I do a vgs fvg, my vg is there, but if I check the lv inside of it, there is no lv. That means there is no file system as such. So when I reboot my system, it will throw an error and it will land my system into control D prompt, right? So how we are going to skip that and make your system available? Let's check that one. Okay, so it is trying to boot up. I just press escape to see what is happening in the background. And now you can see it says the fvg can be found by the system, but there is one file system which is the fvg flv, which is not there, and it is also giving some recommendation to follow, which probably you can run e2 FSCK and use the bad blocks. But in our case, we already know that file system is not there. That is why we're having this error, right? So what is the next step you have to do? You just provide your root password, and you have to mount your root file system in read write, remount read write slash. And once you do that, let me expand my window here, okay, and clear my screen. You would be able to go inside /fstab and edit that file. So go to this line wherever you see the file system issue and disable that file system inconsistency check, right? So by specifying 00, we're saying do not check this file system. Okay, this is one way you can boot your system quickly. Okay, so if I reboot my system, it should now skip that file system inconsistency check for that particular file system and boot up my system. And let's see what is doing in the background. And you see that it is trying to see that file system, and it says does not exist, and also it tried to mount here, but it is unable to mount because that file system does not exist. But that did not give me control D prompt. Instead, it is booting up, right? My system is up now. Okay, this is one way. The other way, for example, you have your file system about 100 gigs, or it's in TB, and your system is not rebooted for from long time, right? So in that case, what will going to happen? If the file system is specify 1 space 2 in this in the fstab file, while you reboot your system, it will by default going to check the inconsistency, and depends on your size of your file system, it will take time. right? So to avoid that checks while boot, we can run a few commands to skip that. Okay, so how you're going to do that, let me just show you. So first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset my VM again, and once it is reset you have to go to menu prompt and just press E and go inside the kernel line, and in here you have to specify first boot. That's it. So that means it will not going to check your file system inconsistency if you specify first boot. And if I say enter and press B, my system will boots up. And if I press escape, you would see it is keeping the same thing. It is going to do the it is checking the file system does not exist. It is also trying to mount the file system, but it is unable to find, but still my system is booting up. Excellent. So this is one way. The other way is there is other option also you can use. The other option is instead of first boot you can say fsck.mod. I'll just show you an example like how you have to specify fsck.mod equals skip. Okay, so basically you can use this option as well, but I believe in RHEL6 it doesn't work, so let me just try anyway. But you can use this option in RHEL7 and RHEL8. That should work on those two newer release. Okay, let's see whether it is working or not, and let me just scroll it down a little and see. Okay, it is working fine. So you see that my system is trying to boot up. Excellent. So these are the two arguments you can pass in the menu prompt to boot your system without checking the file system inconsistency. Let me log into the system and show you where exactly it looks for when you specify first boot, right? So if I go to my system and try to do an cat/etc/rc.d, and inside that there is one file called rc6 in it. Okay, and if I just specially grab for first boot, right, that is what we tried, and you would see there is some if statement which is saying, okay, if you specify first boot in the menu prompt, it just keep your system to check file system inconsistency. Okay, so that's it guys. It's very basic, but it is very useful when you want your system back quickly. You reboot your system, it is trying to check the file system inconsistency and taking a lot of time, right? In that case you can use. And recently I also faced one issue where it says, okay, the SELinux is enforcing mode in my system. Okay, so now what is happening, while booting the system, it is also checking for some of the booleans set for SELinux, right? If you have something wrong in the SELinux, your SELinux is corrupted, it gives you an error while booting up, and while starting the SELinux service your system will hang. In that case, if you face similar issue, what you have to do is same thing in the kernel parameter. Let me just reboot my system again here. I just faced this issue recently, so that so I just wanted to pass this information along with you guys as well, so that if you face this issue, you can also use this option. So you just have to do SELinux equal to 0. So it will not going to check anything about the SELinux and skip everything and boot your system, right? This is the third option. If you face any issue while booting with regards to SELinux, you can use this option. Okay, that's it guys. I think I have showed you what I was supposed to show you. I believe and I hope this video is useful to you. If it is really useful, then please don't forget to subscribe my channel press hit like and share with your friends. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a good day.